make legitimate predictions. I know this one will be 100% valid. Anyway, Nikon D810, 36 megapixel camera. People are like, the autofocus isn't fast on this for sports or action. It's like, who gives a shit? Some of the people that, like, for example, here's a perfect example, aren't familiar with medium format, and I shot medium format for years in film. Medium format film, medium format digital, the same. Some people have the new Fuji medium format that were testing it. It's not out yet, but people were testing, like, oh my god, the focus is too slow. They're trying to do street photography with a medium format camera. Which is kind of like saying, technically I could, like, drive downtown with a semi-truck, but it don't work too well. Especially when it comes to parking. What people don't realize is that camera ain't designed for that. This camera is not a sports action wildlife camera. 36 megapixels, plenty of people actually are using this for wildlife, however the autofocus is not fast enough. Nowhere near it. This camera is not a wildlife sports action camera. This will be, it basically almost already is, the current best value Nikon if you're going to do portraiture, landscape, or real estate. So if you want to steal, if you're interested in portraiture, landscape, or real estate, if someone else right now, I'm going to jump ahead of the comments because I can read your mind. Someone's going to say, the D810 doesn't have really good high ISO performance. And once again, I'm going to go, who gives a shit? When you're doing, now you don't have control over that in landscape, obviously so. You can't like light up a landscape. You can, but not really. Not big ones anyway. Doesn't matter. In portraiture and real estate photography, this is also still the best camera for Astro photography. Well, actually, technically, it's a D800 to A, which is a specific Astro camera, but I mean, that's some oddball crap. Nobody's going to buy that damn thing. It's got improved infrared sensitivity, performance, blah, blah, blah. Also, too, I should have actually included astrophotography, which most people are into. Astrophotography, landscape photography, portrait photography, real estate photography. This is currently best value. You can get these used, what now, for about $2,600, gray market. It's Nikon D810. I think they're down, I've seen some, a lot of used ones are actually popping up around the $2,100 or $2,000 mark. I mean, this is it. When Nikon rolls out, people say, well, Nikon's going to roll out that full-frame camera here in the middle of the year. It's like, well, yeah, they are, but it's not going to be 36 megapixels. It could be theoretically the same pixel pitch as the Nikon D500. Nikon D500 scaled up 20 megapixels times 1.5, basically a 40 megapixel camera. However, it would not be that. It would be somewhere, it should be somewhere around 28 megapixels to 32 megapixels. To have in, say, if it's going to be an RGBW sensor, which very, very, very likely that it is, it's going to be between 24 and 30 megapixels, so it's still not going to be the same as this. This is for methodical, purposeful photography. The perfect happy medium that exists, and we're talking about also including FX and DX in this schema. Obviously, if you want to do astrophotography or landscape photography or real estate photography or portraiture, you want a full-frame camera. And the reasons that you want a damn full-frame camera, obviously you don't have to enlarge the image as much as a DX, but outside of that, obviously the pixel pitch isn't as high either, but outside of that, this is the camera you want for facial compression if you're going to fill up someone's face in the frame. I mean, this is what 85 millimeter and, the ultra-wide 15 to 30s are designed for. Not a DX camera. People, all these DX camera users like, I'm going to get a wide angle lens for my DX camera, but they don't really exist. Like, yeah, that's why you get a full frame camera. Currently, the Nikon D810 has technically supposedly been discontinued now. That has not been verified yet. So I keep hearing people talking about that. When June rolls out, which should be when Nikon unveils their next, basically a full-frame version of the Nikon D500. Unless you're a sports action wildlife photographer, this is going to be the steal of the year, is a Nikon D810. The prices on these are going to, not immediately, not overnight, but they are, like, around about August, September, this is the camera, if that's what you're going to be doing. This is methodical, purposeful photography that obviously gives you all the megapixels you want, gives you the full frame advantage. The issues are the fact that it doesn't have great, by any definition, it does not have great high ISO performance, but these are situations where you have, other than landscape photography, these are situations where you have full control over your lighting. If it's portraiture, you don't have control over your lighting, then you're not even a professional photographer, much less an expert photographer. When you're talking about sensor saturation with light, be it speed light or studio strobe, nobody professionally using a D810 gives a shit about its high ISO, its crummy high ISO performance, so I don't want to hear stuff like that because it's irrelevant. The perfect happy medium between super expensive medium format and like crop sensor or you know, saving 24 megapixel D750. That's the upper limit of that. It's a full frame camera. You know, super fast, even like an X-T2 Fuji. Of course, we're not talking about Fuji here. We're talking about Nikon. Like the Nikon D500. D500 has one downside, and that it has almost 2 stops less dynamic range. It is like a bug-eyed marsupial. It does not like bright specular lights. Everybody that has a D500 knows what the hell I'm talking about. The D810 does not have that issue. The D500 is not ideal at all for landscape. Far from ideal for portraiture. Not the saying you can't do portraiture with it. You know, nothing wrong with that. It's less than ideal for landscape. Far less than ideal for landscapes, real estate, portraiture, and also sufficient dynamic range. But I mean, it's designed to be hardcore, fast, sports action, wildlife lens. Not that it can't also do landscape and portraiture, but it's not best at that. So this will be the top value of 2017 is the D810. Right now, currently, it's a toss-up between like a used D800E, which is basically the same thing as this, or a gray market or a refurb D810. The D810 prices are plummeting. Whew. The price of what a D810 now sells for, it's amazing. Really excellent camera. It's also been bug-free. D810's been out there for quite some time. D810 doesn't have any issues. Continuous highs. This camera is that middle ground between medium format and you know, a zippy, a run and gun, sports action wildlife 20 megapixel D500. This has the dynamic range. This is full frame. This has all the full capabilities of what you'd want for portraiture, action, Astro photography, which most of you are not, and real estate photography. So if you're into portraiture, real estate, landscape photography, this is the camera to be gunning for 2017 because of its price and value relative to what it is. Because that type of photography is methodical. It's not fast. Your landscapes aren't running. You know, the people that you're doing for portraits are like, you know, stand still right over there, turn your chin over there. You know, you have any issues with autofocus on someone that you're directing in your shot? It's like, turn your chin, yeah, like that. Don't care the fact that it's not awesome at high ISO. Don't care about the fact that it's not a zippy camera for autofocus acquisition and tracking. Doesn't matter. That's why I've been shaking my head at these knuckleheads that have been like bitching at the medium format Fuji. They're like, man, I had issues like manually focusing and like shooting street. That's a medium format camera. You're trying to use it like a X-T2 or like a, you know, that camera ain't made for that. Not that you can't technically do it, but you know, you can technically, you know, drive to the grocery store in a semi-truck. You ain't gonna have no fun doing it though either. You're like, God damn it, this semi-truck is no good for getting around town. You know? It's like, yeah, it's a semi-truck, damn it. I won't tell you his photography channel was like bitching about medium format Fuji. It's like, man, this thing is not too fast. It's medium format. It ain't about fast. It never was. Medium format never was about fast. That's not what that camera's made for. Most people don't know what medium format's for. Anyways, the happy medium, and it's to be the best. It already current is best value FX DSLR camera for 2017. Awesome. The Nikon D810. Yeah, you heard it, girlfriend. Bye. Said the Nikon guru. I've had too much caffeine today. Someone sent me some nuts. Actually, I know who sent me the nuts. Man, I got some macadamia nuts today. Each one of those was like a little white nut of like, my tongue was beating my brains. That was like a tasty nutgasm. That doesn't sound right, does it? Man, those are awesome. Organic macadamia nuts. Ooh. I didn't know. It said on the package that if you like feed a macadamia nut to a dog, it'll kill a dog. I didn't know macadamia nuts were poisonous to dogs. It's a good thing I don't have a dog, I guess, right? It's like, if a macadamia nut is like poisonous to a dog, it's like, shouldn't humans not be eating it too? Usually what kills a dog will also kill a human. Man, that's an expensive bag of macadamia nuts. It's like $1 a nut. It's like every time I ate a nut. That's what we call a tangent at the end of a video. A tangent. Thank you for watching so much. Like this video, drop a buck or two, tell me to jump off a cliff, whatever makes you happy. Bye. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba, la, 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 ba, ba.